Hello everyone, and welcome to Relatively Refined. In today's video, my sisters Kathleen, Patty, and I will be sharing with you our Christmas 2023 tablescapes. We hope you enjoy this video. And if you've been enjoying our videos and haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and take this minute to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel and it lets us know that we're on the right track with these videos. All right, everybody, let's dive into our Christmas 2023 tablescape video.
I love Christmas. I love all of the colors and the shininess of it and the baubles. And so all throughout my house, I have a lot of color. You can see in this little vintage tinsel tree, everything is greens and reds and golds and just very shiny and bright. And even in our main Christmas tree, it's very whimsical with ornaments that we've collected over the years with all different colors, shapes, and sizes. So for my Christmas tablescape, I decided to mix it up and go with something very, very simple and neutral, kind of an opposite of what is all out throughout the house with all of the different colors. And so let me show you the Christmas tablescape. The inspiration for this started, and you'll see it in the centerpiece, with a couple of pieces I bought at a gift shop that they're called coral. And I really wanted branches, but I just couldn't find the perfect branch. I will be on the lookout for it now. But in there, they are these they're plastic. You can see them. They look like coral. And I just loved the way they look. So I spaced those apart and put in some greens and some shiny silver Christmas balls, and interspersed with the dark wooden trees and the dark wooden candlesticks that my husband made. And for a tiny bit of whimsy, I did add a few little mushroom or toadstool candles for just a touch of red. And of course, sprinkling in glitter lights adds a magical feel to absolutely everything. But I really like how it turned out. There's not a lot of color, which is different at Christmas time, but I think it goes well in this farmhouse, on this farmhouse table. Even the candles that I used were very neutral. I actually purchased those at the thrift store. It was a brand new box of 4, and then I had the other two, the off-white ones, and then I had the other 2 more silvery or gold ones. The place setting is also very neutral. I have to use my Friendly Village dishes at Christmas time because that scene is absolutely just evokes Christmas to a T. I used a simple white napkin embellished with some real green, and I tucked in that little white Christmas tree that is really just a toothpick hidden underneath the plates. And I layer that with the brown charger, the rattan charger, and then our everyday white pottery dishes or plates. Keeping on that theme, the glassware are plain wine glasses. I opted not to use the gold or the red ones. I just kept it very, very neutral and let the centerpiece really steal the show, as well as the adorable pattern on the Friendly Village dishes. I often will use my gold silverware or flatware for holidays, but again, in the spirit of keeping things very neutral, I went with the silver plate. I don't have real silverware, but this is silver plate, and it's kept in a box, so it stays fairly shiny. But just above the table setting is the color, and this is our chandelier that is just decorated with vintage Christmas balls in all different colors, pinks and blues. And again, just to give it a little contrast to the very, very simple and neutral color palette of our Christmas tablescape. So we will look forward to sitting down to a dinner here in a couple of weeks. And I'd like to take this time to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a safe and healthy New Year.
I'm going to start my tablescape by building my centerpiece. I thought about what I wanted to do for the centerpiece for this tablescape. And I really wanted to do something different than traditional florals or candles. So I decided that I would build a snowy scene underneath a cake dome and use that as my centerpiece. I started out by taping down some fairy lights to the base of the cake dome. You can see I'm testing out the different settings until I got it to just steady light. After I had taped down the fairy lights, I needed to add the snow, and what I used was Epsom salts. Now these are lavender scented Epsom salts, which doesn't matter. They're still white and sparkly. So I just used the lavender Epsom salts and I poured it over the top of the fairy lights to give the illusion of snow. The lights still showed through the snow or the Epsom salts enough to give it a wonderful little snowy, glowy look. I spread the Epsom salts over the lights and tucked down any that were still sticking up, and then I started to build my little village. I have thrifted several of these little David Winter cottages for 50 cents or $1 over the past year, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. I thought maybe I'll list them on the shop or maybe I'll put them around. I wasn't sure, but they were perfect for this centerpiece. So this was the largest of the cottages, and I had to kind of nestle it down in the snow so that the cake dome would fit over top of it. It's not a particularly tall dome, so I had to make sure that it fit on top of the base plate with the village underneath it. So once I got the largest cottage in there, I just started adding the smaller cottages and then some bottle brush trees that I already had on hand. And that was it. That was my centerpiece. It took a minute to get the trees nestled in just enough so that the base would fit, or the dome would fit on top of the base without smushing the trees. But once I did that, it was really cute. So here I am testing out. Nope, that didn't fit. So try it again. I'll dig that little tree down a little bit more, get it down into the snow, tuck it in there, and there you have it. And there's Hazel saying hello. I don't know if you can hear her. She's barking in the background. And Phoebe is snoozing on the couch next to me. Here is my table with an abundance of riches in terms of dishware. As you know, I have a problem, so I have a lot to choose from. Let me give you an overview of some of our choices. Here are 2 different tablecloths that I have, and of course I could always just use your traditional white tablecloth, which would be very pretty as well. I have these gorgeous green depression glassware bowls that a wonderful subscriber sent to me. I have some cut glass wine glasses. Over here I have the Port Marion Christmas plates. 2 options for napkins, including that blue fleur-de-lis and the plaid napkins. There are the water glasses. I forgot to put water glasses on my tablescape at Thanksgiving, so I'm remembering that now. For bread and butter, really kind of salad plates, I guess. I've got these beautiful cabbageware plates. I have these plates with the gold rim. Also in the dinner plate category, right here I have my green transferware. I have the blue willow, which is kind of unexpected, but when I was at Mount Pleasant Mall, I saw that blue had been incorporated into a lot of Christmas decor. Here is another salad plate in red. And then finally, the fourth, I guess, dinner plate choice are these Johnson Brothers Christmas tree plates. So I'm going to play around, I guess, and see what I can come up with. And we'll get started on this Christmas tablescape. What I ended up choosing for the tablecloth was this beautiful red, I think it's Royal Stewart, possibly, is the name of it, plaid tablecloth. I love it. To me, it's just very quintessentially Christmas. The reds, the greens, and it does have a touch of blue in it, which is why I was thinking about using the blue willow plates. First thing I did was put my centerpiece down in the center of the table. And then in order to hide the battery pack for the lights, I took out this pipberry garland and wrapped it around. That was a gift from my mom several years ago. So I wrapped that around the base of the cake stand that the cake dome is placed on to hide the battery pack. You can barely see it, but you can still get to it to turn the lights on and off. The plates that I chose to go with are the Johnson Brothers Christmas plates. I tested out a few things, including the blue willow, but my daughter Neve was home and she said that she liked those plates the best. They were very, very Christmassy. And she's 100% right. So I went with the beautiful Johnson Brothers plates. I want to add that absolutely everything on this tablescape has been pre-loved. Most of it was thrifted over the past couple of years. To the plates, I added these gorgeous cabbageware salad plates, or to the dinner plates, I should say. I added this cabbageware salad plates. I love the way they look. The green is so Christmassy, and then they do have the white in it to pull on the white from the plates below them and in the tablecloth, as well as from the centerpiece. And then on top of the salad plates, I added these beautiful depression glass bowls. And as I mentioned, a very sweet subscriber sent these bowls to me, and I love them. The flatware was a gift from my mom. She got it when she was volunteering at the Habitat for Humanity Restore in Vermont, and a whole service for, I think it's 12 came in, and she got those for me because I did not have enough silverware. So here I am setting a proper place setting. And the way you think about it is that you put the silverware or the flatware pieces that you'll use first on the outside. So on the left of the plate, you have the salad fork and then the dinner fork. And then to the right, you have the knife. And if you had a salad knife, which I don't, you would put that down. And then the soup spoon and then another spoon. And then horizontally above the plate, you have the the dessert fork and spoon. The glassware goes to the right of the plate with the water glass above the knife, and then the wine glass or glasses to the right of the water glass. And when you're setting out your flatware, you want to make sure that the bottoms are even. They will be staggered in height at the top where the tines are, or the top of the knife or the spoons, but the base of the flatware should be aligned. And there you can see the dessert fork and spoon placed horizontally above the dinner plate. And then the bread plate, I used my green transferware bread plates, and then that is to the left of the dinner plate above the forks. And I only have 2 butter knives. So I put one on that place setting and one on another. So this year in 2024, that will be on my thrift list for 2024, some small little butter knives. And there you can see the overall place setting. I think it looks so pretty and absolutely Christmassy with all the reds, greens, and whites. And since I am a traditionalist when it comes to Christmas decor, this tablescape is perfect for me. What I love about this centerpiece is that it's different. It's not your usual florals or candles. It's very unexpected. It's also very visually light. It doesn't take up a lot of space on my small table, but it does add visual interest. And because it's clear and round, it perfectly mirrors my table, and you have a great view of the centerpiece no matter what chair you sit in. It's a 360 view of the centerpiece, and I really love that. It's the perfect little Christmas scene for a cozy Christmas dinner or a Christmas Eve dinner. The only thing missing from the table right now are the napkins. And I'm going to do a fancy little napkin fold. So let me show you how I'm going to fold my napkins for this Christmas table. Let me just show you how I'm going to fold this napkin. So I'm going to take my square napkin and then fold it into a triangle like this. Flip it around, starting at the small pointed end. I'm just going to roll it up toward the long end. All right. Then once I'm here, I'm going to fold this side over like this, and then this side over like this. So you have somewhat of a bow here. Then I take my napkin ring and I'm going to stick both sides on one side through the napkin ring. Pull it to the center. Hazel. There she is. And then adjust it, and it forms a perfect bow. And here's how it looks on the table. I love it. I love the way the silver of the napkin ring, which is thrifted, echoes the silver in the flatware. The plaid in the napkin is reflective of the plaid in the tablecloth, and the colors are all very similar across the table. Even though the patterns might be mixed, I've stuck with a very simple color palette of red, green, and white. And I think that is what makes this table work. And I will leave you with one final overview of my Christmas tablescape. And I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope that you have the chance to spend time with loved ones or friends over the holiday season. And remember, your table is beautiful, not because of what's on the table, but because of who sits around the table. So enjoy this wonderful time of year, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch our videos. We appreciate it, and we wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Hi everyone, this is Patty and welcome to my Christmas 2023 tablescape. Just as in years past, this year I went with a traditional colonial look. However, I did make some changes. I simply had to feature this Ralph Lauren tablecloth that I recently thrifted. So many of you commented when I showed it to you in the video, how much you loved it, and so I knew this had to be featured in my tablescape. Here is an overview of my table. I decided that I wanted to go with colonial, sort of Williamsburg look with a wreath in the center and fruit around it. I knew these black candlesticks were perfect for a couple of reasons. One, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm incorporating more black into my Christmas decor this year. And they really do anchor the table and give it that more New England colonial look. I love the look of a wreath as a centerpiece, and embellishing it with pine cones and some of the dried orange slices that I made and some faux fruit and some real fruit, I think just makes a beautiful centerpiece. The pineapple is elevated in a Revere silver bowl, and all of this is on a silver plated plate. I know my sister Paula showed you how to use a skewer to poke a hole into an orange and insert cloves. This also works with faux fruit. These oranges were something I picked up years ago, or possibly even pulled out of a wreath that I had. I'm not entirely sure. But this method worked perfectly for those, and I will incorporate this into my centerpiece. This table is busier than I typically have, and I was frankly worried about how it would come together. But I think using the natural elements such as the fruit and the pine cones, as well as the traditional red, green, and silver, and then my touch of black, I just think it works, and I really am thrilled with how it turned out. I'm going to share with you the place setting, the china, the silverware, the glassware, and how I put it all together. I've talked before on this channel about using everyday items and not purchasing seasonal items, but rather embellishing what you have. But I have to admit, I do love having a Christmas china pattern. And I have been collecting the Lenox Winter Greetings pattern, and I do love having a special Christmas pattern. Because I am mixing so many patterns, I wanted to start with something simple, and this silver charger from Pottery Barn is a great base. It is very simple. I actually got it on the Facebook Marketplace, a set of them from the Facebook Marketplace last year. And then my Winter Greetings dinner plate, and I'm going to layer a red napkin. I had 4 red and 2 black, so on the ends I did use 2 black ones. And then I have my Winter Greetings salad plate on top of that. I just love this look. And then finally, I am putting a special piece, which is a folded napkin. And this is in the April Cornell plaid with the black and the red. And I really feel like that ties everything together, adds a little element of surprise and whimsy. And then to top it off, I purchased these silver-plated place card holders from a consignment store in New Hampshire recently. I thought they looked like stars at the top of the tree, and then of course my daughter will make name cards for everyone. The silverware belonged to my husband's parents, and it is Gorham silver, and I think it is in the Lyric pattern, and it is monogrammed with the letter T for our last name. And when I was setting the table and pulling out the silver, I noticed that the monogram T was upside down when the silver was set. Hard to see in this. I'm trying to show you, but it is hard to see. And I learned that that is a preference. It is kind of whatever you want. But the idea with that is when you are holding the utensil upright, like using the fork or the spoon, the tea will be right side up. So when the table is set, it's upside down. And when it is being used, it is right side up. Just to make things extra special and fun, I thought I would show you how to make this folded napkin to look like a Christmas tree. It definitely adds a little bit of whimsy to a place setting. Making this Christmas tree out of a napkin could not be easier. I am just taking a square napkin and folding it in half and in half again. I loved using this one because it had this really nice little rickrack around the edge. Then one by one, begin folding the bottom corner up to the top, but not quite. And each time you do it, you're going to go a little bit lower. So again, you're going to be creating this gradual fold. And then carefully, after you've done the last one, just clasp your hands over it and you're going to flip it over. And then you're going to begin to fold in the sides to create the tree shape. So what you're looking at is the tree point facing me. And then I like to tuck that last little bit into the bottom. And then flip it over again. And then it's simply a matter of tucking. Now this with that cute rickrack could stay the way I originally showed you. The first layer you're going to tuck under. And then typically you would tuck the rest under like I'm doing here. But I'm going to show you a different way that I actually like better. I'm tucking the rest of the layers upward and underneath. And the reason I chose to do this with this particular napkin is again that red rickrack. It just created such a pretty pattern. So here's an overview of the napkin, and just remember you can tuck those folds either under or over depending on your napkin or the look that you like best. Play around with it, it's fun. And here on the tabletop you noticed I used white candles with the simple black candlesticks. I really wanted to keep some of the other elements simple to really focus on the beautiful dishes and that special tablecloth. I also think it's such a nostalgic factor to bring in a wreath as a centerpiece with fruit and pine cones. It's kind of the way I would imagine Christmas to be in yesteryear. The other set of candlesticks is crystal, so it does not provide any distraction. It's nice and clear. And I love the nostalgia of my Christmas plates combined with my husband's family's silver. I love these thrifted pedestal glasses and all of the little touches that make this table shine. Amongst all the silver is one of my favorite pieces. It's this William Rogers silver-plated chip and dip platter. And while I initially was going to use this as the centerpiece with the wreath around it and the pineapple in the bowl, I ultimately decided to use something flatter, and this will be perfect for the ham that will be on our Christmas table with a little mustard horseradish sauce in that dish. I really loved working with the red, silver, and black color palette this year. I enjoyed having a new tablecloth, which at first I wasn't sure about, but I think this is going to be hard to top. I also love to anchor this table with the black candlesticks and the traditional colonial fruited wreath at the center. And while I scatter around these red and silver chocolates, I wanted to take the time to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all of the love and blessings in the new year.